let's talk about the fearful avoidant and how they ruminate and how they make up stories and scenarios in their head. So the fearful avoidant tends to ruminate. That means that they will get stuck on a thought and they will just wear it out in their mind and think about it constantly, continuously, spend way too much time focused on that thought. This is something that the anxious preoccupied can also do as well whenever they're really high and they're anxious. But they get stuck on this thought and it just goes around and around and around in their head, and typically has to do with their partner, whereas usually an avoidant style or a securely attached person is not going to think about their relationship or their partner that much. They're going to not be quite as hyper-focused on it throughout the day. So the fearful avoidant that leans anxious a lot of times will make up stories in their head and have entire conversations and scenarios that play out that you may never even know about. So for example, let's say that I want to have a conversation with my partner who just happens to lean avoidant. In my head, let's say that I want to get the need met of spending more quality time together. And so in my head, I have this entire conversation that I'm going to bring to him that I play out over and over again. I'm going to go up to him and I'm going to tell him that I really want us to spend more time together. If he could carve out 2 hours a week for a date night or whatever for us to hang out. And then in my mind, I'm going to play out what he's going to say back. And I'm going to create all of these expectations before I even bring the conversation to him. So the scenario in my head may look something like this. I bring him my need, I request more quality time. He hears me and understands that I just want to spend more of his time, and that's an honor, and that's something that I'm craving from him, which means that he's special to me, and he's going to feel loved and valued because I bring him this need. And so he's going to say, of course, I will carve out time for you. Let's make sure that we go on a date night twice a week. I'll handle the sitter, and I'll make sure that I do some of the planning. So before I've even brought my need to my partner, I have already created all of these expectations, had a whole conversation, and ruminated on this for quite some time. So I bring the conversation to him already thinking that it's going to go a certain way. And let's say that my partner is someone who leans avoidant. Now, if he was a dismissive avoidant, then it would probably look something like this. I bring him my need. He hears I'm defective, I'm not doing something right, I'm not being a good partner, I'm not showing up well, and then he shuts down and he withdraws. He's not necessarily going to say, hey, you're right, we need to spend more time together. I feel that you value me and that you want to spend time with me, and I appreciate that, and that makes me feel loved. Probably not going to go that way. He's probably going to hear that he's defective, he's not showing up well, he's not doing something right. He may get critical, he may push back intellectually, but he's probably going to withdraw, and I'm not going to get my need met. And I've already created this whole expectation and this whole scenario of how it's going to go. So when it doesn't go that way, I'm going to be crushed because I already thought I knew how it was going to go, and I already assumed that that was what was going to happen. I created an entire reality that did not, in fact, exist. So for the individuals who lean anxious, it's really important that we learn to express our need and express it directly and express it in a way that considers our partner's attachment style, because they're going to receive things differently depending on how we present it to them based on their attachment style. The other thing is we have to be very, very careful that we do not confuse our needs with our expectations. Our needs are things that we deserve to ask for and that we require as individuals. Our expectations, that's where we can make the change. We need to stop making expectations that have not already been set with our partner. And we need to stop trying to get our partner to fall right into our expectations and meet expectations that they're not even aware of.